Hi guys, I'm back. Here to teach you lesson 10.6, making predictions. But first, I need to go over Tuesday's warm-up and Wednesday's warm-up. I hope you guys are all holding up okay, staying safe, staying inside, and somehow getting your social interactions out. I know I've been doing a lot of FaceTiming and virtual meetings with your teachers, actually. Just trying to keep up with things. So hopefully you guys are still talking to each other and hanging out virtually. So let's go over Tuesday's warm-up. So it says first of all, the objective was still I can find independent and dependent probabilities because it was our second day of working on it. So Henry has a fair number pyramid with 4 faces and a spinner with 3 equal sized colored sections. The possible outcomes for each are shown below. What is the probability that the number pyramid will land on 3 and the spinner will stop on blue? So this is an independent event because whatever happens on the number pyramid doesn't affect what happens in the spinner. So the probability that the number pyramid will land on 3 is 1 out of the total of 4 sections times spinner, blue, 1 out of 3, 3 sections. So 1/4 times 1/3 is 1/12, which is letter A. Wednesday's warm-up. A passenger train has tickets available for 12 window seats and 8 aisle seats. The next person to buy a ticket will randomly be assigned to one of those seats. What is the probability that the next person will be assigned to an aisle seat? So first of all, 12 plus 8 gives us 20, so it's a total of 20. And the probability that the next person will be assigned to an aisle, that would be 8 out of 20, which simplifies to 2/5 if you divide by 4, which is letter B. That was just a regular probability question. All right, let's get into 10.6. So this is our last lesson in this chapter, which is good. And the really good thing about making predictions is you already know kind of how to do this. We're just kind of putting a name to it. So this kind of relates to what we were talking about in the statistics chapter. I actually had this lesson in the statistics chapter, but I decided to wait for probability to do it. So it says sometimes when taking a survey, we use a sample to save time and money as opposed to using the entire population. Hopefully you remember what I'm talking about. Tell whether each group is a sample or a population. So students in a middle school would be a population, whereas the 7th graders in a middle school would be a sample of that population. And then the citizens of a town at an ice cream shop would be the sample, and the entire town would be the population based on that. So based off of the sample, we can make a prediction as to what response of the entire population would be. To make a prediction, we write a proportion. Hopefully you remember what that is. So let's just jump right in. The students in Mr. Blackwell's class brought photos from their summer break. The table shows how many students brought each type of photo. What is the probability that a student brought a photo taken at a theme park? So we have 11 out of whatever this adds up to be. So let's see, that's 18, 28, I believe. Should I double check that? Well, that's 10 and that's 18. Yeah, that's 28. So 11 out of 28. Letter B, there are 560 students at the school where Mr. Blackwell teaches. Predict how many students would bring in a photo taken at a theme park. So, if we know 11 out of 28 would bring in a photo at a theme park based on this number of students, we want to predict how many out of 560 students at the school. So it's just, again, using proportionality to make a prediction. So from here, we can cross multiply 28 times x is 28x, 11 times 560 is 6,160. Divide both sides by 28, and x is equal to 220 students. And that's our estimation, or prediction. Number 2, a survey found that 6 out of every student have a blog. What is the probability that a student at the school has a blog? Well, 6 out of 10, or 60%. In this specific lesson, keeping the fraction is the more appropriate way so that you can set up your proportion. So letter B, suppose that there are about 250 students at the school. Predict how many students at the school would have a blog. What about if there were 650? So let's do 250 first. So 6 out of 10 is equal to, again, how many out of 250? And cross multiply. 250 times 6. Divide that by 10. You should get 150 students. Next one is similar, still 6 out of 10, but instead it's asking about if there were 650. So 650 times 6, and then divide that by 10, you get 390 students. All right. So we can also predict with percentages. It says the circle graph shows the results of a survey in which children ages 8 to 12 were asked whether they have a television in their bedroom. Predict how many students out of 1,725 students would not have a television in their bedroom. So a reminder that percentages are always out of 100. And Hank is growling. So again, we're predicting how many out of this would not have a television. So no TVs. So you can also still do a proportion for this. I'll show you two ways. First way is still proportion. So 54% have no TVs, but we know that percentages are always out of 100. So we could just write 54 out of 100 and then X out of this number, 1,725 students. So go ahead and solve that. I will do the same. And it ends up being about 900, we'll round up, 932 students. The other way to do it is to use your knowledge of percents. So you know 54% of students don't have a TV. So 54%, we're looking for 54% of 1,725 students. Well, you can change that to a decimal and then multiply it by 1725, 1,725, which should give you the exact same thing, and it does. So still about 932 students. Okay, so you can use either way, doesn't matter to me as far as percentages go. Number 2, the 5th graders at Sand Creek did a survey to find out students' favorite subject. They found that 45% of students like social studies the best. Out of 257 graders, how many would you predict to like social studies the best? So they found that 45%, we'll say 45 out of 100, is how many out of 250? Or you could do 0.45 times 250. Either way, you should get 112.5, so about 113 students. Okay. All right, I would like you to try these on your own. So it looks like most of this is percentages. So I'll attach another document that you can do that will have both, where you have to have the fraction, just like we did on the front page. Okay? All right, good luck.